Bitcoin is hitting new all-time highs again, and this pump exactly got started whenever the future market in the US opened. So this means the US stock market is betting very heavily on higher prices today. And to be honest, this is most likely only a taste for what we are about to get today here. So make sure to watch this video till the end, because I will be exactly explaining what this means for the market, what has happened to Bitcoin, and of course, what could we be expecting for the coming days, coming hours ahead of ourselves. I'm going to be talking about a big level of resistance we're currently facing, because this is arguably one of the most important levels of resistance you want to be paying attention towards. I'm going to be talking, of course, about the highest weekly candle close ever for Bitcoin, the big resistance, and much more important stuff, like my big trade on Ethereum, which I am about to be closing anytime soon here. So a lot to discuss on today's update video, but don't forget to once again slap that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And let me jump straight away in towards the imminent short term here. So first of all, I need to discuss some very important news here before diving in towards these charts, right? So what we can see over here is that Bitcoin, of course, hit a new all-time high here. It went all the way up to about $122,000, and this rally exactly got started whenever the US futures opened. And this rally exactly got started whenever the US futures got opened. And this basically then means is that the US stock market is betting heavily on higher prices of Bitcoin. So that is, of course, something very interesting to be seeing. And whenever the stock market is going to be opening, we are really expecting even more volatility, because, of course, we can start to see the ETF flows return. And on the last 2 trading days, we had over $2.2 billion worth of inflow. So yeah, I won't be surprised that once again, yet again today, we're going to get massive flows on that ETF here. And also, probably later today, we're going to get Michael Saylor, who's going to be probably buying even more Bitcoin, because he's right now in an unrealized profit on his Bitcoin holdings that is exceeding $30 billion. And with this unrealized profit, he can probably borrow even more money. And with that borrowed money, he's probably going to be buying even more Bitcoin. So expect also a big announcement today or tomorrow from MicroStrategy that they're going to be buying more Bitcoin. And obviously, that is going to be supporting this price towards even higher levels than we're already sitting. And what is also a very important topic is that today, the US House is likely to vote on the Bitcoin and crypto market structure bill. And that is obviously going to be very great for the entire market if it is going to get passed. So yeah, make sure to be paying attention towards this, because if this is going to come through the House, yeah, we're probably going to be seeing even a bigger pump for the entire market. Then, of course, also, if we're going to be just looking at this pump here, it is right now over 14% up here ever since the big beautiful bill was signed into the law. And of course, this is something we have been predicting. Of course, yesterday as well, I talked about the liquidity. Yesterday, there was some liquidity piling up over here. We exactly grabbed that liquidity, and now we're starting to be moving higher. But I do want to be paying attention. There is some liquidity laying around at $116,000 level. So yeah, if Bitcoin comes down towards that level, I won't be necessarily all too surprised to see that happening, because I, of course, am very bullish on Bitcoin. I ultimately think it's going to be rising much higher, but this very important level of resistance, which we're approaching right now here. And these are the Fibonacci extension levels. And the Fibonacci extension levels are basically telling us very important levels in price discovery where we're most likely going to be finding somewhat of resistance at. And the first big level we're currently approaching is that $122,000 level, which I really think is going to be acting as major resistance. I mean, we already touched the 122.6k level. I mean, we saw already an ever so slight rejection from of this zone here, and the next big resistance is going to be $137,000, which in my opinion is my ultimate take profit target, because I will probably not risk so much more from off that point, because from off that point I do really think it's going to be more likely that we're going to be seeing at least a slight little cool off before once again pushing back towards the upside. But that is, of course, a strategy and a target I've been mentioning ever since the bottom. That's been a target ever since we were trading in this range. In this consolidation range, I've discussed this target so many times here. My take profit target, and where I think the top of this slight little move towards the upside, because that is the trend we have been seeing. Moves towards the upside, and then, of course, a correction. And in my opinion, it's going to be somewhere around at $130,000 to about $140,000. So that is exactly what I'm currently expecting. Of course, I'm not going to be trading against the trend here because we're clearly in a big uptrend, but that is my target ever since the breakout has started, and I will remain to stick to my strategy. Also, for the bull flag pattern on Bitcoin, The $135,000 is exactly the target. And of course, that remains to be my strategy. Then Bitcoin right now looks to be potentially breaking above this very critical monthly level resistance. I will keep on monitoring it. It really depends on how the monthly is going to close. But if we can break above this level, it is ultimately going to be super bullish, of course. So yesterday as well, Bitcoin closed the highest weekly candle close ever. The chart, or just not even on the logarithmic time frame, but it looks absolutely insane. We are right now going more and more parabolic. If you're just going to be looking at the parabolica, you can just see we're going more and more parabolic. The lows are getting bought up even faster than before, and we are pushing higher in an even more exponential pace than ever before here. So yeah, things are looking great. It is exactly going as planned, but make sure to not FOMO in towards any wrong trades right now here. I mean, I've been in my trade ever since the bottom, so for me it makes sense to hold it for some more time here, because like you can see, I am very close towards my full take profit target, which is $3,080. So yeah, I will be fully exiting my Ethereum trade at that point. Then, of course, on spot, I will be holding some, of course. But for me, the risk will be a little bit too high to hold it open after that here, since I opened it up on $2,200 and I will literally made over $1.5 million from this one single trade here. So for me, it doesn't really matter. And guys, I have built a very special dashboard that is comparing 5 different exchanges towards each other, and you can like see all the comparisons about which one is better, which one is worse, which one is safer, which one has got better liquidity, which one has lower fees. So you can literally get the best deal out there. So guys, if you feel like signing up an account to a new exchange, make sure to check out this website. It is basically signupforbonus.com. I will leave also a link in the video description on today's video, so you can check it out yourself here. But honestly, I've compared it all together. You can see it also on the website, but Weeks is the best one out there right now here. If you go to sign up links on this website, guys, if you right now sign up the Weeks, you can also get a free $100 up on registration whenever you also are going to confirm your email and your phone number. So that's the only thing you have to do, and you get a free $100. So, and if you don't want to be participating in the deposit bonus, you can just press on regular sign up. So guys, make sure to check it out in the description of today's video. It's highly valuable for sure. Further on, I want to discuss some altcoin charts here, because first of all, the Bitcoin dominance is starting to see a top here. In my opinion, it really clearly looks like a top. First of all, we're seeing a slight little rejection here on the weekly time frame on the MACD. We're crossing bearish for the first time in many weeks here, for the first time in November, since November 2024. So that is, of course, ultimately a very bullish thing. And we do know November 2024 was quite strong for altcoins for sure. And something similar looks to be in play for now as well here. So we are seeing that bearish crossover on the MACD. That could ultimately end very bullish for the entire altcoin market. But of course, one of the things and one of the most important charts for the altcoin market as well is, of course, the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin chart here. For now, it looks to be that we're getting rejected every single time by this right here, by this level right here. But whenever we're going to be, in my opinion, break above this level, Ethereum is most likely going to be running very fast towards the upside. I mean, also, if we're looking just at the altcoin year / Bitcoin year cycle, it is currently clearly still a Bitcoin year, but as soon as this is going to be flipping, it is going to be very great for altcoins, of course, right? I mean, Ethereum has already clearly broken above the most important level of resistance, and honestly, the next big resistance target is going to be $4,000, and I won't be surprised if Ethereum is going to be moving towards that level. I mean, we broke out exactly of the bull flag pattern. We broke above the high, retested the low, and we saw this big bounce towards the upside, and I won't be surprised to see an even bigger continuation. You can see it also on the 1 hour time frame. It is looking actually very strong. Big resistance, now flipped into support, and yeah, that is exactly the retests you want to be seeing, and I won't be surprised to see at least a big push higher from off this point onwards. So very excited for Ethereum. Of course, we exactly predicted this pattern. I mean, honestly, I can't stress enough about it. Also on this chart right here, on the top side, then on the lower side, and now the big continuation is happening. And I won't be surprised to see this thing run up all the way to about $4,000. And of course, like I mentioned many times before, I will be only take profit. For me, the risk is too high to hold it all in leverage, but after that, I will just hold it all in spot. So yeah, guys, this was it for me in today's update video. And don't forget to check out signupbonus.com, because over there you can compare all the best exchanges out there right now here. So guys, anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. Subscribe to the channel, slap on the like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.